I mean, I do not even have the apt adjectives to describe what Finn Allen has just shown the world at Eden Gardens in a semi-final of a World Cup, no less. Gobsmacked, dumbfounded, speechless, at a loss for words. Hello, my name is Gaurav Kapur. This is Cricbuzz Live with me, Michael Warne and Dinesh Karthik, who join me in being spellbound, dumbfounded, gobsmacked, speechless. This is just insanity. This is borderline illegal what he's done.
Yeah, it's ethereal knock, I must say.
Oh, I like that one.
It's just
I'm going to tweet that. Ethereal.
ethereal.
Good.
Don't put Ethereum. That's a different problem altogether. We'll come to that. But in all seriousness, just the way that he played, the shots that he played, and Michael was just saying that I don't think there's a more powerful opener right now, he reckons, in world cricket. He says Harry Brook can play a few shots. That's a bit of English bias there. We'll come to that. But for a moment, I must say that was a serious knock.
Yeah.
The kind of shots that he plays is very, very hard to play because a lot of the time, sometimes he's off position. Like he's so much on the back foot, but still manages to pump a ball. And when he hits a six, it stays hit. And it's not a one-off for him. MLC, he was brilliant for San Francisco. Went to Perth Scorchers in Big Bash, highest run getter. And now he's come here continuing his form in the one bilateral game against India. He got a superb 84. In UAE, against UAE, both these openers were 175 for no loss. So Seifert Allen combination is one for the folklore and sure because just the way they're playing, they'll be remembered for the kind of knocks that they're playing. To come and smash an opponent who's been dominating oppositions is not easy. In a World Cup semi-finals, even more so. When you're chasing a score as tall as 170, add one more layer to that. So I just feel it is probably one of the best opening partnerships in a crunch game in a T20 World Cup.
The bowlers will take a while to find their words, to find their senses, to find, to just digest whatever's happened. But have you found a few adjectives to describe what Finn Allen's done here?
I have. It was bullying of the finest order.
So it is mildly illegal.
I'm going to take you ahead of in 3 weeks' time when the IPL starts. Just roll that pair out, KKR.
Yeah.
Roll that same opening partnership on that kind of surface. It's going to be an incredible opening. It's been an incredible opening partnership for New Zealand, but it will be for KKR as well. But he's a wonderful player. I saw a lot of him in Australia in the Big Bash, and I saw Seifert as well. He was in decent form. He got 100 in his first game for
Renegades.
The Renegades. That was in the first game down in it was at the Cattery down in Geelong, about an hour and a half from Melbourne. Poor pitch, but he just whacked it to all parts. But they're a real hard combination because you've got Seifert's quite small and he kind of plays punchy shots, and then you've got this tall Finn Allen at the other end who's a different style of player. He strikes the ball as clean as anybody.
Yeah.
And when he hits it, it stays hit. And in actual fact, there was a couple of those sixes I think came off the inside edge of the bat. But because of his power, I don't think they were coming out the middle.
Yeah.
And they were still going over the rope for six. So a brilliant combination. I think in the halfway house we felt that South Africa were light, but I didn't think they were 120 light.
Yeah. Let me guess, I'm trying to calculate. If you've got 117, 12.5, another 120, they would have perhaps got that as well, the way that they were batting.
I feel, sometimes as an opponent, GK, when you play T20 cricket, it happens quite a bit, to be fair, where there's one of those days you get absolutely steamrolled by an opponent and think, you know what, it wasn't meant to be our day. And it just feels like, sadly, that they had to come on a semi-final for South Africa. They had no chance in the game. They lost early wickets in the power play. They had an okay power play. Then they found a way to get to 170 and New Zealand just came out and absolutely thrashed them.
Yeah, these guys had a 84, was it 84 or 85? 84 run power play.
And you've just guided me wrong again. You just give hints of what could be. And you choose a score which is somewhere not even relatively close to what you're saying. And you just take me off the wrong path. And I am there always on the wrong side of it.
Yeah, you've lost
I trusted you, Michael, though.
I know. Well, I was a little bit closer than...
No, he said 65.
No, I said 65. You said 59.
Yeah, but you said something at the end. You said, it's either going to be a 70 or...
I said it'll either be 70 or 40, which is why I said 75.
You still would have been
65,
wrong.
yeah. That's still wrong with 70.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, two things. One is to Dinesh Karthik, choose your leaders wisely. Right? You're not doing good with this combination.
No, I won't be copying us.
Yeah, don't we? No. And secondly, I don't think even Nostradamus could have predicted this 84-run power play. I mean, what these guys have done is truly, completely out of the world. Like this guy, I mean, it was just, It was, you talk about one-way traffic. This was just one-way traffic with huge 16-wheeler trucks coming at you.
Yeah.
If you're a bowler.
I spoke about a version of this when you play in Calcutta. It's very achievable. I
Yeah.
said 65 to 70 or 75, whatever I said, because such a quick outfield and the pitch has bounce, so you can always use the bounce to your advantage. But South Africa were pushed. They didn't usually, like for example, Corbin Bosch is someone who bowls after the power play. He's a bit like what Jamie Overton is, maybe back end of the power play sometimes, but mostly outside of it, heavy length balls. And they were under so much pressure, they needed a wicket. Rabada had gone for runs, Lungi had gone for runs, Jansen was smashed. So they're like, now what do we do? Okay, Corbin, try. It's a gamble. Let me try, and it didn't work out. And you can understand why. Like he was taken down, 22 in an over.
Yeah.
But there weren't too many bad balls. It's just that Finn Allen was batting in a different level altogether today, and on a good pitch, he is extremely difficult to bowl to because of the shots he plays right now and the form that he is in more than anything else. If I'm right, if the stats serve me right, I'm trying to speak with the producer and make sure I don't get it wrong. Amongst full member nations, this is the quickest 100 in a T20I.
For sure. There's a few which are Nepal against Mongolia, Bulgaria against Turkey. Not counting those. But here, I mean, in a World Cup semi-final, there could be one or two which, even if there were quicker deliveries, I think in terms of context, historical, in terms of impact.
And the quality of bowlers.
The quality of bowlers, the opposition, the moment, just if you put everything into consideration, a 33 ball 100 is anyway great. But then when you add all these layers, this becomes one for the history books, like etch it on the marble. It's that good.
Yeah, and then he gets on a plane and goes to Ahmedabad where there's another pure pitch, so he might do it again. He's in that kind of form.
It may not be easier against Arshdeep and Bumrah. Just letting you know.
I can just tell you, we're 6 minutes in, and DK's already given two what I call side sledges to Michael.
Don't worry, I'm taking them.
Oh my God,
but you're not here tomorrow night. So he's getting him out of the way now because he's not here.
Can I tell you something? But the guy who's here tomorrow, you can have a chat with him about Allen and Seifert opening for his team. Because their captain is going to be here tomorrow.
Yeah, because Jinx is going to try and say to one of Timmy Seifert or Finn Allen, I'm going to open in the
He can bat at 3.
IPL. One of you two is going to have to drop down. Good luck having that conversation. I've said for a long while, New Zealand are the best team in the world. Pound for pound.
Pound for pound.
Pound for pound, they are the best cricket team in the world. Of what they achieve and the levels to which they get to on a regular basis, and they've been doing it for a long period of time. T20 cricket, 50-over cricket, test match cricket, they're the best team in the world.
Today, Finn Allen can definitely think that he's the best batter in the world. He can think he's the best man in the world. He's definitely the best Kiwi in the world for everyone today, at least till he gets to the final. After doing this, 100 runs and 33 balls. The strike rate is 303.03. There's 10 fours. There's 8 sixes. There was just...
That's 104 runs in 18 deliveries.
Yeah.
Boundaries.
That's,
48 plus...
No, 40.
88.
40 plus 42.
Oh, yeah,
So
sorry.
82
So
runs.
I'm thinking, I was giving him 8-8s.
88, sorry.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
both got it wrong.
yeah.
See, never trust us with anything.
No, we can't even get that right. 88 in 18 deliveries.
So 88 and 18 deliveries.
In 3 overs.
Which means in the remaining 15 deliveries, he got 12 runs. That's terrible. What were you, napping? What were you doing? Let's look at I think we just have to talk about Finn Allen. There's not much else in this game that you can talk about right now, at least at the end of the game. Can't talk about anything else. South Africa, it's really what we were saying about India after they lost to South Africa, saying if India was going to have an absolutely rubbish steamroll day, it's good that it's out of the way now. Unfortunately for South Africa, after steamrolling everybody else, they've got steamrolled in a semi-final, which means they are out, they're gone. And not just one guy, and we'll talk about Tim Seifert in a bit as well, but Finn Allen, his acceleration, his fours, his sixes, there's a certain decisiveness to his hitting that comes when you see his confidence. And it's not like he's got it in his arc. Everything seems to be his arc.
If you see his run progression according to balls as well, there's a certain consistency to it at a high strike rate. In the first 10, if you can get 27, that is probably as good as anybody in the world. He maintains that over the next 10, which is as hard as anything else. Because they bowlers realize, okay, this pitch, this is what we need to do. So when they come back with the plan for them in the next 10, he's still going harder. And then once he gets to already he's in 50, then they're just playing hide and seek after. They're like, please, take a single. I'm very happy to give you a single. And those balls that they bowl for singles is often their strongest defensive ball, and even that is not good enough.
Yeah.
So on a day like this, you have to say, Finn Allen, clap your hands and say,
hats off to you. And the thing is, in the power play, actually, Tim Seifert faced more deliveries than Finn Allen did.
Yeah, and he had to catch up.
Yeah.
So he was catching Seifert. I mean, they're a brutal combination. I'm trying to work out where you bowl to them.
Yeah.
And there's not much on a pitch like that because there wasn't any swing or very little. There was a bit of seam early, but only for a few deliveries. No spin. They pick up length quickly. Offside, onside, both powerfully hitting it through extra cover off the back foot, punching it over mid-wicket for 6. You only have to miss your length. I think there was one ball from Maharaj. It wasn't a short ball. He just decided he was going back. And he still pulled it for 6. Remarkable hitting. I mean, I'm trying to think how you go at Finn Allen. I think if it spins a little bit more, that's probably the way you can get him. If there's a little bit of tweak, there was in Sri Lanka, so he wasn't quite as effective. But in Calcutta, and dare I say Ahmedabad, there isn't a great deal. So he could go again in the final.
If I had to ask you tomorrow when you go to the Maidan and replicate one shot, what shot would that be of Finn Allen?
That little pull.
You love that.
I mean, I will try it in the morning, but I reckon mine might just reach the 30-yard circle. Someone will go, thank you very much. Oh, it's just, I mean, I tell you what, Matthew Hayden back in the day, he had presence, he was big.
Yeah.
And I think he intimidated bowlers by just his stance. He was like ready. Graham Smith had it for a while as well. I think Finn Allen does that. I think in his stance, as you run up to bowl, you just see this stature,
man-mounted.
You see this monster, and he has his guns on show as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
The muscles and the tats are all there. You think, oh my god, brutal. The only thing I will say is that the odd bouncer, if you're going to be hit for 130 odd balls, you know,
it doesn't try the bounce once in a while.
You know,
they did, but it went outside too.
Yeah,
he pulled one. I get your point. Jokes
but
apart.
there's not a lot you can try when he's on that kind of run, but.
Yeah.
Could they have gone? I don't know. Not easy for South Africa. They've played brilliantly and they've had a blip, and it's cost them. They're out of the World Cup.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, the blip has come on a day. Well, there's no second chances. Not for the semi-final, not for the final. Knockout. Thank you. Time to go home.
Can they get home?
Can they get? It's done it again.
Who's that?
It's done it again.
That's wifey to be.
It's the missus. That's right.
But you should speak to her saying, I'll come back soon.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
I'll get
Finn
back to
Allen
you.
has been nice to me today.
The only, that's it. Everybody thinks we're still going to be chilling, right? We're not going to be working right now. But Finn Allen has made sure that we have an early night. We just have more time to spend with all of you.
Can I just take you back to the West Indies?
He asked a very nice question, I felt, to you, GK. Ask again now.
Yeah,
Michael,
the
South African team, will they go?
Can South African team get home?
It's tough.
Yeah,
but it's not impossible.
They got to put in a call to the person you mimic the best.
Manoeuvre around.
There could be a way.
Can I take you back to a game, the West Indies versus India?
Yeah.
Shea Hope scored 32 off 33 deliveries.
On this same.
Finn Allen's got 100 off 33 deliveries on the same pitch.
Slight difference. Very slight. Smallest of margins. Just a little bit. I think right now for you, for DK, who has to go for the 100 auction next week.
Who's Finn Allen going to? Has he got a team?
He's not got a team yet.
Yes.
Yeah. But I can tell you next, at least 1 week from now when the 100 auction's coming, there's going to be a lot of this. There's going to be a lot of, right? There's definitely going to be a lot.
He's unlucky that the IPL auction happened a little early.
Yeah.
With this, he's going for sure. At that time, who was hot is Pathum Nissanka. He was batting beautifully in IL T20. He went for a lovely price. I'm sure if Finn Allen had done what he had done that time, it would be different. That's the beauty of auctions. Obviously, people see you then and there. If an auction was tomorrow, Michael and I would go for him for probably, I don't know, till the cows come home, we'll keep lifting the paddle and then they'll say, calm down. But right now, it is...
There is a recency bias, of course, to these auctions, and that recency bias will benefit Finn Allen a week from now when the 100 auction happens. When we talk about Finn Allen, it's very easy to overlook what Tim Seifert did, because in front of the 300 strike rate innings, the 175 pales in comparison, but you can't undermine or you can't undervalue what Tim Seifert did for the team and also for Finn Allen.
Well, Seifert has been extremely consistent, and just like what we were discussing, he did well in Big BL. He's coming on the back of an injury, actually. He had a nasty finger injury. That's why he didn't play a lot of cricket for about 2-3 months. And he's coming on the back of that. And he was searching for form initially when I came in, but not so much in Big Bash. In Big Bash, he had already gotten going. He started very well and had a decent run through the middle. But for me, what has been beautiful about Seifert is the way he's actually changed his stance. He used to have a very straight stance, but now I think he had a stint with St. Lucia where Faf was a captain, and he's kind of gone there with his bat like this, and he's got that flow in his stance, which is quite nice, I feel. And it's such a good part of playing franchise cricket, where you learn from some of your other teammates, where you have conversations. And I think Faf must have had a discussion about that, and he was talking to me about how he likes that momentum when doing it, and that has really worked for his game in opening. And he's always been a good ball striker. He, I think, in many ways played, I don't know how much he was influenced, but I'm pretty sure he looked up to Joss Butler a lot. The way he bats that reverse scoop, he does that a lot. And somebody who stays beside the line, hits nicely on the offside. The skills were always there. Went to PSL, had a wonderful PSL last year when the IPL was happening. So he's been in the thick of things. He was part of the RCB winning team. We had called him post the wall to replace, if I'm right, Jacob Bethel when he went. So he is a solid player. I'm very happy for him that he is doing so well, but I'm not at all surprised. The skill was always there. It is just great to see him translate into the bigger leagues and right now in international cricket in a World Cup semi-final. Beautiful.
They both went for base price.
Yeah.
Both Allen and Seifert.
Sure.
2 KKR base price,
Yeah.
So they've got bargains.
Yeah, they really have.
Bargains.
They really have. There's one thing about him, I know, he's a big guy, right? He's short, but he's a solid, stocky dude.
Pocket rocket.
But for a guy who's obviously heavy build, big build, he's quite light on his feet. He's really nimble.
Oh, yeah. He is, and he's got the 360. You know, as DK mentioned, he's got these, but he can go powerfully down the ground as well, which is so hard to keep a batter quiet when they've got so many options. You know, you can't protect that because they'll go behind. You can't protect that because they go over the top. They're pretty much. And I do think. I mean, there's when I go back to Duckett and Crawley when they've had good combinations and good partnerships for England, little and large.
Yeah.
For a bowler, it's quite tricky.
It's the long and the short of it.
Yeah, and I just wonder whether Seifert and Allen, you know, little and large, it's quite hard for the bowlers to adjust the length. Yeah. Sometimes left hand, right hand do that as well. That's a good combination if you've got that going. But I think the actual height of a batter can be
a lot of people think actually Seifert is being picked probably for the first time in KKR. No, he was picked much earlier in 2020, just post-COVID 21, if I'm right. He came in halfway. He was part of the team. Before that, he impressed the KKR setup in Trinbago Knight Riders, and that's where he played with Kyron Pollard, Nicholas Pooran, and all those guys. Did well for them. A small little knocks, nothing substantial, but enough to say, you know, he's a good player. So KKR picked him then, and then when the big auction came, obviously let him go, and then he didn't get picked, sadly, because I think he dropped form a little bit. Wasn't part of the New Zealand team, but it's great to see him come and do what he's doing, because he's a solid player, someone who you can trust on. Great work ethics, lovely lad. It almost feels like you're not sure whether there are 3 openers and all 3 are quality. Rachin Ravindra, Finn Allen, Seifert. I'm sure all 3 won't be playing, but they are the kind of guys who will complement each other and help each other grow and help the team as well.
Yeah, and it's going to be a lovely Sunday because it'll be New Zealand versus Tim Southey and Baz McCullum, so it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be like a New Zealand get-together.
Nicely done.
Throw Jeetan Patel in there as well.
Nicely done. Yeah. I like it. I like
a lovely Sunday evening.
He's returning the side sledge. Of course,
and he'll have, you know, you'll like that because that means you'll be able to go to London for the auction sooner. You won't have to commentate, so you'll be happy with that. You can take your paddle with you.
Yeah, he'll need the paddle to row the boat first.
I thought you were on my side, but clearly.
No, I'm just saying, that may just happen even if you leave Monday. You may need the paddle to row the boat, so keep it handy. For South Africa, well, today, they did not have a paddle and they were rowing upstream. That's right. That's what happened when Seifert and Finn Allen attacked them. When you look at the bowling, obviously, everybody has gone for runs. It's a bad day for everyone. Out of this, did anybody look a little...
As soon as I see that, the first thought that comes is Jansen has had another tough game with the ball in this ground. He's not going to like it, is it?
Yeah.
He's having a very Michael La experience.
I actually think
he's 2+ at least.
I think you said he went for 100 in 50 overs.
94 he went for.
In 10 overs.
9 point something.
Well, if you just put those figures back on the screen, at that rate, he's looking at going at 200. He's 10.
In his 10, 200, he would have gone for. I mean, if he had another
Even
7
though the
balls.
math is a little off, it's got a big number.
Yeah, but he
It's
almost.
a long way short of his levels, but the pitch is flat.
Yeah,
No swing. Flat.
he scored 55 runs, so he's still 2 plus. He's
He
still-
was the biggest plus. Whether it was 2 plus or not,
Yeah.
he did bat really well.
Do you think South Africa batters will look at this and just go, like, how did we get it so wrong?
It's one of those days where you wake up the next day and think, geez, the World Cup is over. We had a great run. One bad half an hour with the bat and probably a half an hour with the ball. Done. And that's what World Cups are. You can do however you want to do, but it's not about what sort of confidence and form you carry. It's how well you do on that given day. And it wasn't meant to be for them.
Okay, real quick, I want to ask you, controversial call. I've been reading about it on social media. Daryl Mitchell, was that a catch or not a catch?
Always, it's a very hard one to see for a third umpire because you're giving him a 2-dimensional image for a 3-dimensional picture. It's very hard to get it right.
True.
So it's always a challenge.
But
Number one.
what did you think about what it was given finally? Me likey, me no likey.
I tell you what,
We don't mind.
yeah, I'm 50-50 on this one, but when I see a player take a catch, and generally when you take a catch and you know it's gone in your hands, you don't go. And the only thing, I mean, Daryl's a nice guy, and he's kind of taken the catch, and then he's gone, oh, you better just check. And that for me is always a slight indication that he feels that he didn't quite get it perfectly. So he's checking. And I understand that. Usually when you see some of these guys take the catch and you just know it's gone in your hand, and you just got the hands under it like you have to these days, you know, you don't go, you just go, yeah, it's out. And they check anyway.
Yeah.
But you don't give the umpire the indication to check. So there's just a little bit that I felt maybe he felt it wasn't quite right. But if you're giving me the definite to say was it out or not out, I'd say I can't.
Okay.
It's impossible.
I just want to say it's so interesting what you said about Daryl Mitchell and say that it's what a difference the Tasman Sea can make, right? Because on one side you've got New Zealand who on these are going to go, I'm not sure. On the other side you have the Australians who will just go,
That's out.
that's out. We've seen that. If you know, you know. You know what I'm talking about. All right, so New Zealand has completely decimated South Africa in the first semi-final, and they're going to play the final on Sunday. Now, I am torn. I'm absolutely torn, I have to tell you. My heart is torn into 2 pieces. My mind is torn into 2 pieces. That's because I have 2 very dear friends sitting over here. One's trying to tell me that New Zealand will play India, and the other's trying to say New Zealand will play England. Can you help me with this? What do you guys think? Tell us in the comments. Tell us what you think. Because we know what they think, right? Right? And just to be sure, Michael is saying England and DK is saying India. Just to be sure. Just so people know. Should I just leave the room? Do you guys just want to face fight?
We actually haven't disagreed too much.
Yeah.
I mean,
Except on this, the largest point.
I said we've got 3 spinners that are better than India's spinners, and that was the only disagreement.
I mean, they're better in quantity, at least. We won't talk about quality. In quantity, because there are 3 spinners in England and 2 in India. So,
Yeah, I'd say throughout this tournament, the English spinners have been better than the Indian spinners.
That's fair.
That's fair. Better performance.
In this tournament so far, by form, for sure. I mean, I don't think I'd disagree
So then
with
we
that.
agree on that as well.
Yeah, we're agreeing.
That's great. So then will you agree with us when we say that India will play the final with New Zealand?
If they win the toss, they will, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But I think if England win the toss, I think England might win the game.
So it's chasers.
They might say start 6:30. Whoever wins the toss, thank you for coming.
Yeah, just walk off. Save everyone a load of stress. It's not great for television, but they can go down Marine Drive, they can go and play a bit of paddle tennis.
Yeah.
You know, just have a
Is
night
that
off.
the most important factor then tomorrow, according to you? The toss, not the
I thought you
outfield,
meant
not the
paddle
pitch. Yeah, Pat.
Oh, I think you want to be chasing, but again, I don't think it'll be as drastic as we see in Calcutta. I think it's a fairer balance, but 60-40 if you win the toss.
I don't think toss is that big a factor in Mumbai because when I did the game here, there wasn't too much dew, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. In Calcutta, it almost felt like winning the toss is very close to winning the match, even though the result has been so lopsided that toss dew didn't really matter. But Mumbai, I don't believe it'll be that big of a difference. Team winning, team batting first can definitely put up a big score. It's a good pitch to bat on. And scoreboard pressure, it's so old school, it works a lot of the times.
And this venue, and Calcutta, if you bat really well, you can get a number that's it's hard to chase. We saw that in the 50 over World Cup. I spoke about it last time when England just won the toss and had the ball, and South Africa got 400.
Yeah, and they were there on the field for 50 overs, just
and they were melting,
just done melting.
They were scarred so much that I think they came in a day-night game now in T20 World Cup. They won the toss and they batted. We don't care, no, we'll bat.
Just bat.
I do think though, it's a good point to make about the dew. I think tomorrow there could be some. And the reason for very limited understanding of science, so please forgive me. But it's going to be a very hot day in Mumbai tomorrow. It's meant to be 39 degrees, is what you told me, right?
That's correct.
It was very warm today as well. Very wisely, Michael and I decided to play 1.5 hours of paddle before coming to the studio. Not a good idea in this heat. But tomorrow it's going to get even hotter. And the dew comes when there is a drastic drop in temperature, right? When the delta of the temperature from the day to the evening is larger. Now, if it gets 39, then you imagine the drop also is from a higher point. So it is going to get cooler in the evening. So that's why I'm thinking that there could be a chance of dew tomorrow. So that could, according to you, be an important factor because spinners are important on both sides.
If the stats do say that in terms of what the weather is going to be, for sure, then you can expect a bit of dew, and then winning the toss becomes a very important part of this game.
Any changes you think besides one? Jamie Overton coming in?
No.
For Rehan Ahmed?
Jamie Overton for Rehan Ahmed. I think that'd be the only change.
Okay. For you?
Same team.
Same team? India plays the same team. All right. We, of course, have a longer preview of this that's already on air. We've done our homework ahead of time, and it's already on air. So you can go and watch it on Cricbuzz on the app. So it's a longer discussion we've had. And I'll just tell you this about that. Things got a little spicy between my two friends. Fist fight, fist fight, fist fight. Just go watch it. Just go watch it. It's fun. Watch it. It's fun. All right, gentlemen, I think that's all we have time for right now. Is there anything else we need to discuss besides the leaderboard of the guessing game?
Can we have a bit of joy?
Just a bit, not too much.
No.
I mean, I love him in person, but these questions, me no likey, because me no get the answers. If Rangana Herath is 10th on the list, Chetan Chauhan 5th, Niroshan Dikwala 2nd, who's in the first place, and what list am I talking about?
You know, Michael, I know the answer to this because I saw it in one of the comments, and it's a very good friend of yours. I want to try and guess.
English? Not Wasim Jaffer.
No.
This
is a real
friend.
That Wasim Jaffer also is a real friend.
A real friend who's no longer with us?
Yes.
Oh, Warne.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's his 4th anniversary.
Yep.
Of his passing. Yep.
Most
runs. Yeah.
Without a test ton. Right? I told you Chetan Chauhan never got a ton. He got the maximum number of 90s, not a ton.
Right.
So yeah, Shane won.
Wow, that is a good. Well, he got 99 against New Zealand. New Zealand again.
Yeah.
Everything's about New Zealand.
Yeah.
And he was caught on the boundary in Perth off a Daniel Vettori delivery. And it was a long hop and he smacked it straight down mid-wicket's throat. And it was a no ball. Daniel Vettori was that far over the line.
Wow.
So not only did he not get 100, we managed to show him years and years later that he would have got 100 because it was a no ball.
Oh man, he must have been gutted.
It made it even better, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm sure. For you it did, right?
It was funny, but it was this far over the line.
Jeez. Yeah. Just to tell people who are new to watching cricket, that was the time before the umpires called the no ball or even checked.
Third umpires.
Yeah, the third umpires never even checked for the no ball on the TV replay, which then they started doing it now. Of course, it's all automated. But yeah, he really was the true king of good times, wasn't he?
Oh, God, yeah. He knew how to live.
Yeah.
Yeah. How old was he when he died? 54? 52, 54? I would say that he lived a life of 154 years.
Wow.
He crammed it all in. He didn't leave many days untouched without doing something quite spectacular.
That is quite amazing. A legend, of course, without a doubt, one of the greatest to ever play the game.
52 he was.
52, and from all his friends, whatever we hear, just a top guy, just a guy who packed in. There's some people we know who can just pack in more day into a day, more week into a week, more year into a year, and that was the kind of guy. Did you interact with him?
I worked with him. I interacted with him quite a bit. Lovely guy.
Where did you work with him?
Sky Sports.
Ah, okay.
He was there with me for 1 year.
Yeah.
I really would have loved to work a lot more because he was a terrific comment. The pulse that he had for the game is unbelievable. He had left field thinking of a different level. Absolute cricket badger. Loved watching the sport. It was the life of the party. Great fun to be around. I obviously played a lot against him and IPL and against Australia, whatever, but terrific time I had during the little time that I did spend with him. Larger than life personality, goes without saying. And I really liked his outlook towards cricket. A little different, but one that was filled with aggression. He never liked when they removed the silly point short leg, these kind of small little quirks. I loved it and I really enjoyed my stint with them.
There are some people, and that's what makes them special, is you meet people with great thinking about a certain subject and people with great skill about a certain subject. It's when that great thinking and that great skill come together, that's when you get somebody like him.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he was a genius.
Yeah.
He managed to, usually when you say, the bars will be emptied to watch us, it's usually a batter.
Yeah.
Brian Lara, Virat Kohli, Sachin Tendulkar, the bar's empty for an Ian Botham.
In a stadium, yeah.
Yeah, go and watch this player.
Yeah.
The bar's emptied when Shane Warne got the ball in his hand. Yeah. And very few bowlers in the history of the game, you get that. And bearing in mind he bowled spin.
Yeah.
Again, Michael Holding, a real quick bowling spell. People would want to watch that. But a spinner. He was the one spinner that I can recollect that everyone wanted to see him watch. He just could produce magic. And it was his persona. It was his body language. He created a theatre. With his field settings, just standing at the end of his mark, delaying it just to make sure that the batter knew that he was trying to get into the psyche of the mind. Everything about Warne was a competition. Yeah. Whether he was playing cricket, whether he was playing golf, whether he was at night doing what he did probably better than most. Even with his daughter that had this little dog. Right? And if you go on Summer Warne's Instagram page, she's got some lovely kind of footage of him with this dog. And Warne would be with his dog. And this dog's friendly with everyone. But Warne would sit with his dog and the dog would look at Warne and Warne would say, see, the dog loves me more than anybody. It's like a competition. Even the dog with him, he had to be around that. The dog loves me more than anyone. It's like a competition. I say it's a dog. That dog loves everyone that strokes it. Gives it a bit of attention, takes it on a lead and takes it on a walk. No. Dog loves me more. So everything that he did, whether it was with his cars, whether it was got everything, it was all a competition.
Yeah. And for you played against him at his peak. I mean, there must have been times when you guys had chats in the England dressing room going...
I always remember, I went to Aussie in 2002 for the first trip to play that team. I'd not played. I think I played one day in 2001. Jason Glesman knocked me off some part of the ground first ball. So anyway, I go over to Australia for this first trip, and I remember sitting with some of the senior players saying, what do I expect? I'd never faced McGrath, and I was going to open the batting, and, two of the senior players said, Glenn McGrath, you put one piece down on a length, he's going to hit it. He said, when you'll be facing him, there'll be 4 slips in a gully. Justin Langer will be short leg. With the new Kookaburra ball, he'll be swinging it probably 85 to 87 miles an hour away from you. Whenever he wants, he'll nip one back into the pads. And when he really wants to, he'll bowl your bouncer right on the lines. And I was like, all right, okay. I said, if I survive that spell and Shane Warne comes on to bowl, what do I expect from Shane? And another scene about, he's got about 18 different deliveries, Zooters, Grooters, Hooters, you name it.
Yeah.
He said, Steve Waugh will come in at silly point, Ponting will be around the bat, you've got Gilchrist behind you, Justin Langer's still at short leg, Hayden, he's giving you plenty, Damien Martin will be close, he'll give you plenty. Anyway, and by the way, if Glenn McGrath's on at the other end, don't bother looking at the scoreboard, it ain't moving. Yeah. Well, but I'll tell you what he did, and he was as good as anyone that I actually ever played against. If you did well against him, he'd be the first to come and shake your hand.
Oh.
The Aussies had this kind of, Can people used to say, oh, they didn't shake your hand or they didn't say well played, you know, they were just brutal. Well, he and many of the Australians, but particularly Warne, you know, when you did well against them and you walk off and you go in your dressing rooms, if he's not shaking your hand on the way off, he'd come in the dressing room and shake your hand and say well played. You know, not as just individual players, if they get 100 or a fifer, you know, he went searching to make sure that he shook your hand to say well played.
That's great. Yeah. Great man, great champion was Shane Warne. And yes, that was the answer of a Joy Factor question for today. And the lucky winner, a lot of people actually got that right, more than I expected, but they're smarter than we are, I guess. Harish, congratulations. You are the lucky winner and you win a thumbs up and a smile from Joy. Congratulations to you. Well, I'm sorry. I don't want to do this because I feel like we've ended on a high with all these Warne stories from Warne, but I got to show the points table.
Let's have a look. Put him up. Sure, I've had a bad day.
Oh, well, at least you're not last.
That's managed to.
Well, at least I'm not second last.
Jinx is having a bad week, isn't he?
Jinx is the only one who's going down without playing. I don't know how that happened.
DK, is this your last night here, or?
Yeah.
So that's where you're finishing. And just out of interest, I think Jinx is back tomorrow. Yeah?
Jinx is here tomorrow, so he gets a chance to.
So if he gets one,
Jinx is there for 2 more days. So I really wish he redeems himself.
You're going to finish.
Or he can go much lower than it. He's got 4 chances. I hope he gets 3 wrong.
I'm just saying that I at least had bragging rights of 2 bullseyes, and now Manoj is 3. So I've lost that as well. He's got 3 bullseyes.
It's in good form. I think you're going to finish bottom.
Yeah, I really thought you were my friend.
No, I thought I'd just let you know because I couldn't work it out. I think Jinx will get 1.
There's nothing you worked out. I just said India would win the game and you come back with me saying...
I tell you what has happened is that in the first 4 minutes, there were 2 side sledges from DK to Michael. Michael got 1 back in and there was 1 pending. And just on the last ball of the day,
roll me over.
Just as I was about to take the stumps off and say, that's day's play, he's decided to get 1 back. So, well, there you go. It's all even Steven now, right? It's a draw. So we will, while everything is amicable here, we will wave our white flags. We will scoot out of here. We'll see you tomorrow at 6:20 p.m. Indian Standard Time is when we'll be here for India versus England. It's going to be an absolutely cracker match that's happening at the Wankhede Stadium. There's 2 very good teams that are playing against each other. I am not saying one is the favorite over the other.
Who do you think is going to win?
I honestly think that cricket's going to be the real winner.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
If ever sitting on the fence was visible, there it is. The man in the green shirt, in the green coat.
Yeah.
You do think England are going to win? You've said that in the green room a lot.
Did I say England's going to win?
Yeah, you've said it a
Maybe
lot.
I'm trying to jinx it. Never know. DK's already accused me thrice today of jinxing stuff. Maybe that's what I'm trying to do. From me, Christopher Nolan, and my friends Michael Vaughan and Dinesh Karthik, thank you so much for joining us. It was a fun evening. I'm Gaurav Kapur. You were watching Cricbuzz Live. We'll see you tomorrow at 6:20 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Do join us then. Good night for now.